back to What Arty Noobs with general students. This is the 105 leFH18B2, the French Tier 5 premium SPG that we know and love as VP La Pew Pew, but other people know as a leFhy or a leaf blower or something else that is normally a rude word or a swear word of some kind. This time we were on the west spawn of Studzianki under the command of Shits and Giggles. Yes, what a name. Didn't think that it would get banned actually, but yeah, he managed to get away with it. It's quite a good name, that one. Okay, he's got a 105mm light field howitzer, which is actually a German artillery. It's the most produced German artillery during the war. Yeah, they produced more 105s than they did the 88, which is surprising for some, but it's actually true because the 105 was much easier to build. It was a design that originated during the First World War and was very effective, very reliable. So they built lots of them, and they stuck them mostly on carriages, but some were built into tanks as well, and into self-propelled guns. And of course this was a self-propelled gun which was a tank that was actually converted from a Char B1 into an artillery piece and also into flamethrower tanks as well. But they made more flamethrower tanks of the Char B1s than they did artilleries. There was only 16 of these ever built, and we don't know where they all ended up, but none of them survived the war, so gotta presume that they were all lost in battle. Now, he's got 410 alpha, to show the figures. 410 alpha, 53mm per pen, because this is a premium Arty, and he's got a burst radius of 1.91 meters. That means Shits and Giggles can actually get not only quite a bit of damage on the enemy, but even a near miss will do a fair bit. Plus, of course, he's got premium rounds as well. Seeing as this is a premium Arty, you can get premium rounds. It's one of the few Artys that still have premium rounds, even when the rest of the Artys only had HE. Trying to make up his mind where the enemy went. In fact, the Hetzer managed to make its way through. And in fact, now we're looking at a Type T-34, the Chinese rounds out. Direct hit! 158. Right in his front. But unfortunately, we lost the Panzer T-25. Now, it's a tier 5 battle. That means that Shits and Giggles is top tier. There are tier 4 tanks in it. And the tier 4 tanks should actually suffer significant damage if they get hit, because they don't have much in the way of armor. And there's a Largo there, which is a Swiss engine, and he's out the game because he gets dirked by a Panzer. The enemy's got an M10 RBFM. They just used it to kill our Strodny Viz 39. Okay, Su-85 sitting up there on the railway line. This is king of the battlefield, and he's about to find out. No, you're not. 152 hit points there. Good shot. Do it again. Rounds out. Long flight time. Direct hit. 154 again. Go for it again. Rounds out. Another direct hit, and this time down he goes down to one of our teammates in the Panzer PL. Meanwhile, to the south, the enemy's actually managed to break through. Got a 14 TP, but now unfortunately managed to get through our shell, but somebody else got him. In fact, it was our T67 got the kill. Got an M8A1, the Scott. That was a bit late. Fired a fraction too late. You need to anticipate the guy just about to move through the field of fire to leave the target. Okay, we've lost sight of him for the moment, but we've got an enemy BP over the other side of the battlefield. Looks like he's AFK, and he's gone. And there's the M10 RBFM. We're dialing in on that spot. Rounds out. Okay, fire again on the same spot, because I don't think he's moved. But if he has moved, he hasn't moved very far. Okay, it looks like he has moved now. That shot went right onto the target on the spot where he was last seen. And it does look like he's pulled back. Okay. Please excuse if the microphone's just a little too sensitive and it's picking up my growling stomach at the moment. Yes, it's telling me I need to eat something. Okay, M8A1. Oh, that went straight through the armor of that light. Well, it was a tank destroyer, but it is a light tank destroyer. Yes, he actually decided to not even bother to aim. He auto-aimed onto the target and just fired it in that general direction. And he just went straight through him, blew him to pieces. He was very confident that he could get that done. So he's now got 1 kill. But there's still a Type T34 and an M10, or 2 M10 RPFMs down to the south. And the enemy team's also got a ordinary T34 somewhere. Our guys are going in from the north. Whereas our M10 RBFM is going down to defend the south area. Now he's covering that corner at the moment. That's where the bigger threat's coming from. Oh, the enemy are all over the other side of the battlefield, and that's why we can't see them. Yep. They actually moved out of range, and we can see the enemy M10. Round south. Yep, that one just in front of him. No, not there. You can see that Type T34 is also in the mid-channel as well now. Oh dear. Our T67's going in for a quick look. It looks like some of the enemy, especially that the M10 RBFM we knew was up there anyway, because he was the one that was in the back guarding that Arty, and he did take 1 hit in that direction, but he then managed to defend his cap area. Find a long-range shot on the T34. He's on the move. And he's got a big red corner in there. Not going to work. Okay, try and let the aim settle before you shoot. That one's down. Okay, we've got a T34 spotted up north, but he's only spotted by our Studzianki, who's just over the other side of the railway line and in those trees to the north. Okay, one of the enemies has been spotted, and that's the T34. Lead the target just a little. Tries to do it, tries to get him while he's on the move. Okay, he's going after our M10 RBFM. That was better. Got a bit of splash, and he goes down. Now we've got the enemy Type T34. Still let it dial in. Let it dial in now. Close, very close, and he goes down. There's only 2 enemies left now. The M10 RBFM and their Arty, Storm Panzer Spy. Unfortunately, though, we lost our T67 to that M10 RBFM. He went up the south route and managed to spot the T67 and finish him off before he could do the same in return. Now, the SU-5 has got a very short view range and a very short range in general. But the one good thing about the BP is that it does actually have a long view range. 390 meters. It's the longest view range of all the Artys in the game. And I guess you could say that because it's got the gun mounted very high up on top of the Char B1, which means obviously they've got extended height to look around for their targets. We're still guessing that the M10 RBFM somewhere in the bushes, just on that ridgeline, and our M10 is in the dip, and our Stug is coming in from the north. And Shits and Giggles has decided to relocate at this particular point in time. I think the Stug is staying where he is because he doesn't want to get spotted by that M10. And if he moves further south towards the gap, he might be seen. Oh, he is going south. Oh, this could be awkward. He's found the Storm Panzer, which is good news, but Shits and Giggles isn't ready to shoot. You need to turn on target now. That's it. Quickly. Unfortunately, fired snap. Another round in, quick. Let it settle. Okay, slightly to the right. That's it. Lost sight of him again because we lost the Stug. And yeah, unfortunately, we lost the Stug because he did go south. Got spotted. He's blind firing at the moment, hoping that he can hit that Storm Panzer. And the M10's been spotted, so he needs to stop and try and get a hit on this guy. No, we've lost our M10 RBFM, and now it's 2 versus 2. It's 2 versus 2, unfortunately, but it means now it's just the SU5 and Shits and Giggles versus that Storm Panzer Spy and the M10. Oh, and there's Arty coming back in, so they know where he is. They could see the tracer, even if they couldn't see him, because he wasn't spotted. No sixth sense went off. But he's now going in to try and fight the enemy face to face. This is a very brave thing to do. I don't know when you say brave thing to do, it's normally a foolish thing to do, but what can he do? The only other alternative he's got is to actually go behind the cap area and wait for the enemy to start capping and then shoot them right in the face when they get close. Of course, he would see the enemy approaching before they would see him. What he's decided to do instead is try and go and confront the enemy. You can see at this moment, he's actually hiding in a bush, but he has got his tail exposed, so if the M10 goes past, the M10 might spot him. He's having a look in the enemy rear. I kind of get the feeling that the enemy is just sitting there waiting for him to turn up so that they can finish him off. I mean, if I was in the M10 RBFM, I'd probably be actually hunting both Arty right now, and I'd be over the other side of the map trying to do it. Oh, he just took a hit from one of his own teammates. The SU5 just fired a round directly at Shits and Giggles, and that might have actually revealed that he's here. I don't know if you've noticed that, but sometimes if you get hit by a round and it actually goes off, even if it's a friendly teammate or a shot from a teammate, it can actually reveal that you are located there. And the SU5 has just got killed by the M10 RBFM because he got spotted. So that SU5 has done himself no favours whatsoever. Not only firing at a teammate, but also not helping his teammate to go after the enemy. And you can see Shits and Giggles is trying to use the foliage to his advantage. I'm not sure if that tree going down was spotted by the enemy Storm Panzer Spy, but nobody's fired in this direction. And the enemy's now capping. He's been spotted. Okay, he needs to get into cover. It's the enemy Storm Panzer Spy. Okay, setting it up, trying to get lock on. You're not far enough up to get a lock on. Yeah, he's been hitting the tracks as well. Okay. Oh, yes, brutal. Takes out the Storm Panzer Spy. Direct hit, but the M10 RBFM's firing at him. He takes two 75mm rounds. Was it 76mm rounds? 76mm rounds from the M10. Okay, but the M10's going to have to come up and shoot him directly. Trying to get a shot on him. And he's waiting for him to come towards us, and yes, he is doing that. He's locked on. Oh, yes! He fires up over the ridgeline and gets a kill that wins the game. Here's the end of battle results, and that was a third-class tanker for shits and giggles in the 105 leFH18B2, the French Tier 5 Premium SPG. He managed to get a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he got 10. He got a duelist for taking down 2 tanks who damaged him, and he also got a Stark's medal for killing 2 enemy tanks, at least 2, taking 2 shots from the enemy and surviving the battle after having lost at least 2/3 of your hit points in the process. Very well played. These are difficult medals to get, but he won the game for his team in the end. He pulled it out of the bag, and he did it in the Fifi. Very difficult to do, but well done. Let's have a look at team score. Well, he didn't get the highest damage in the game. That actually went to that M10 RBFM, the last one who was killed. He got 1,933 hit points in that game. The second highest damage actually went to the M10 RBFM on our team with 1,473. And the third highest damage went to the T6 medium on the enemy team with 1,145. Shits and Giggles managed to get fourth highest damage with 1,142, just 3 hit points behind the T6 medium. When it came to kills, the top scorer was that M10. He got a Top Gun in that game by killing the SU-5. The second highest was the Panzerkampfwagen 4 Ausführung H. He managed to get 4 kills. 3 kills went to Shits and Giggles in joint third place with the T67. When it came to base XP, it was the M10 on our team who did the best with 793. And then 674, rather, I should say, goes to the M10 RBFM on the enemy team in second place on a game they lost. And third place went to Shits and Giggles with 638. Yeah, he didn't do much in the way of damage. He didn't get a huge number of kills, but he actually did win the game for his team. Without him, it couldn't have been done. Let's have a look at detail. He fired 26 rounds in that game, got 6 direct hits on the enemy and 2 penetrations, 7 splash. Damage of 1,142 hit points, of which 894 were at more than 300 meters. It was those close range shots which were the ones that really made the difference, because he took out the Sturmpanzer Spy with a direct hit at close range, and then he managed to lob a shell directly over the ridgeline into the M10 RBFM before he could get line of sight on Shits and Giggles. He actually received 2 hits from the enemy and both penetrated, and he did take damage. He also got 1 hit by way of splash damage from the enemy Sturmpanzer Spy, which again, it hit the tracks at the bottom part of the tank. So he was actually quite lucky there, because if it hit anywhere else, anything with slightly lighter armor, like the gun in place, the gun mount, where the armor's very thin, it probably would have taken him out of the game. He damaged 6 of the enemy, killed 3, and he earned 21,134 credits on a premium count, 15,851 from personal reserves, 47,552 credits altogether, and after repair and ammunition resupply, took away a profit of 43,300 credits for the game. 638 XP, 957 from personal reserves, 1,914 from personal missions payout, and 383 for this being a premium Arty, one of only 2 premium Artys in the game, and took away 4,211 experience points altogether. But I'm sure you recognize and agree that he actually took away the gratitude of the rest of the members of his team, because they thought they'd lost this one. For sure they thought they'd lost it when there was only 2 Artys left, and they were facing an M10 RBFM, an OP tank destroyer, and of course that Sturmpanzer Spy. They probably thought at that moment, yeah, we're going to lose this one, it's gone. But Shits and Giggles pulled it out of the frying pan and managed to pull off a fantastic victory, even after being shot at by his own teammate at that point in the game, which is a rather silly thing for him to do, because it will give him a bad reputation. But there you go. Shits and Giggles can do it even when the pressure is on. He pulled out a lovely little victory, and this is the sort of video you wouldn't see on other channels simply because they would ignore a replay like that. But we'll do it because we recognize that sometimes Arty can win the game and does win the game and pull off a victory when we shouldn't even have managed to get it in the first place. But yep, we can do it because we've got the skill, and of course we've got the courage to do it as well, because Arty players tend to have, well, I would say they tend to say that they have more balls than the others, but there's a lot of female Arty players out there, and I'm not accusing them of having balls, but you know what I mean. They've got courage, and they've got the skill. They can do it, and they can pull a victory out of nothing. If you enjoyed that replay, please give this video a like. Do subscribe to our channel. Leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm. And thank you for watching.